Oh, hello there. It's your boy Jerome Powell, aka Spencer Israel, aka I don't know what else. Hope everyone's having a good day. My day is pretty good. Just walked in the door, and who was waiting for me but my man Edwin Dorsey from the Bear Cave newsletter. Let's bring Edwin on. Excuse me, Edwin on right now because we had a lot of stuff going on in Shortland last week. Let's talk about it. Edwin, good afternoon. How is your Monday?
Spencer, my Monday is excellent. We have a lot to talk about. There were 8 activist short reports, and I published something that got traction, so kind of 9.
Well, let's start with. You want to start with yours? Or you want to start with the other stuff?
Let's start with mine. I write the
Okay.
Bear Cave newsletter. I published on a company called The Joint, ticker JYNT. They're a franchisor of chiropractic clinics throughout the U.S. with about 600 locations. And the market loved them. 80 times earnings, 40 times franchise revenue. But I highlighted that the franchise base isn't as healthy as many people in the market believe. I also highlighted that they're very aggressive with their billing of customers. So they get people hooked on these monthly contracts and then make it really difficult, excessively difficult to cancel. And the stock reacted. It fell 20% in the 2 days after my report.
That was you. Wow. Look at you. Edwin Dorsey, destroyer of capital.
I don't like to think of myself as a destroyer of capital, but I do try to, highlight problems that the market's missing. Another interesting thing is that an independent board member was an investor in an undisclosed or poorly disclosed LLC that was making investments in a lot of these companies, the struggling franchises. So that's another sign that so something was kind of off here where the company was reacquiring a lot of struggling franchises. They have this undisclosed entity that's being used to invest in franchises. And it looked like, at least from the circumstantial evidence I was able to gather, that they're really able to hide problems at the franchise level from investors. And as a result, the market thinks the franchise base is really healthy and has a lot of room to grow.
I got to say, I've never been to a chiropractor. If you like them and it works for you, great. I've never thought highly of it, but then again, I've never been to one before. So,
and Spencer, the kicker here is I agree chiropractics is maybe mildly controversial. The CFO has sold $1 million of stock this year. The lead independent director has sold at $1.5 million of stock this year, which is the majority of his position. The board's audit chair has sold $2 million of stock this year, which is the majority of his position. The governance chair has sold $4 million of stock this year, which is the majority of his position. And Glenn Krevlin, the independent director who's on the audit committee, who's also investing indirectly into franchises, has sold 90% of his position in the stock, roughly $14 million of stock this year. And when you see a lot of different insiders selling meaningful or the majority of their stock, that's, after it's up a lot, that's not a great sign.
Yeah, one insider sell is one thing. 4 is another. So yeah. This was your short report available on the Bear Cave, but that's not all we had last week.
Yeah, and I don't like to necessarily think of them as short reports. I like to think of them as more as like journalistic articles. And I'm doing a Twitter Spaces at 4 on my Twitter account to talk more about the Joint. But you're right, there were 8 other activist short reports this week, Spencer. One was Grizzly Research, published on Peak Fintech Group. I think they were just delisted, so now the ticker is PKKFF, $600 million market cap. They're a small dollar Chinese lending platform. Grizzly Research said that there was an aggressive stock promotion going on with them, which sent the stock up over 500%. The ticker's PKKFF. And he highlighted that the companies had a lot of these like weird pivots. They were trying to develop Find My iPhone software, and then they moved to like IT services, and then they tried to become an e-commerce platform. And now there's like a Chinese like online lender, and none of it makes much sense. I thought it was a pretty good report. One that got a lot of attention with the day traders and the pumpers and the Twitter audience was Camber Energy. Carousel Capital published on them, CEI.
Yeah, this was kind of the big one of last week.
And, so it really moved on the report. He highlighted that their oil and gas assets in Texas are barely solvent and they're encumbered by a lot of debt. And then pretty cool or pretty interesting is the company has done a lot of like dilutive stock deals. I think shares outstanding are up 20x over the last 18 months. And Carousel said the way people compute the market caps now are wrong. When you consider the preferred stock that's already outstanding, the true market cap is closer to $1 billion, but that isn't reflected because the shares aren't in the share count right now. So that was interesting. And Carousel tweeted, "This one has something for everything: death spiral financing, a fake CFO, delinquent filings, a fired auditor, insolvent energy assets, and the saddest family of entrepreneurs in the clean tech vaporware space." That's what Carousel said.
Yeah, this is a favorite of a certain 90s sitcom character on Twitter. This was a wild one last week. You basically saw the Bulls and the Bears square off on Twitter in real time. It was fascinating to watch, but I'm sorry. Hey, James just said he bought CEI today. He made some money. And if you made money, great. I mean, but this is a tough one. There are a lot of people I think that have not made money on that are underwater in this. Maybe.
Yeah,
So.
I wouldn't be an owner. It's kind of odd to me. Scorpion Capital, which has been a really hot, relatively new activist short seller that I'm actually a big fan of. They published on Ginkgo Bioworks, ticker DNA, $20 billion company that went public through a SPAC in September this year, a synthetic biology company. This is the same activist that published on Berkeley Lights a few weeks ago. Scorpion has conducted 21 interviews with former employees, and he found that the company relies a lot on related parties for its revenue. Like 75% of their revenue comes from related parties. And a lot of this revenue was non-cash revenue, which is a term you don't hear very often. He highlighted in the report that he sent private investigators to some of the customers' offices, and they found that the customers would be located in the same building as Ginkgo Bioworks or use the same phone number as Ginkgo Bioworks. And all that, draws into question whether there's actually economic substance between these transactions or if it's really just selling from one arm to another. And he said that he described the company as a phantom revenue, a hocus pocus business model with rampant related party games and a decade of colossal failure shoveled into yet another garbage SPAC. And the company's trading at 166 times revenue now. I have a feeling, $20 billion company with some big backers. I think the Gates family office, Cascade Investment, was an investor in them at one point. There's probably some value to the science here. It's probably not, a giant zero, but it could be materially overvalued. Citron also published on them afterwards and said he agreed with the Scorpion report and highlighted that they're trading right now at like 5x their 2019 venture round valuation, which was about $4 billion. So you go from $4 billion in September of 2019 to $20 billion now without a lot of substance to back it up. I'm a little skeptical of this company.
All right, what else we got?
Okay, it was a crazy week because there was so much. Bonitos Research published on the metals company, ticker TMC, $800 million company. They're an ocean metal mining exploration company that went public through a SPAC in September. And as you see, Spencer, they're down a lot.
Ouch.
They're down like 65% since the SPAC deal 2 months ago, which is not a good sign. It's interesting though, because at least from what I read on Andrew Walker's blog, is the insiders supposedly like filed Form 4s to buy up like 80% of the float after it fell a lot. I don't know if that's accurate. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if those are fake Form 4s, but supposedly insiders had claimed to be buying a lot. But there's just a lot that seems wrong with this company that you're going to like drag the oceans to try to get like rare metals at the bottom of it. It doesn't make much sense. And I have a feeling that this one could be a zero before the end of the year.
Yeah, from 15 right to $3 is kind of all you.
And it just it simply, it seems like to me, from my not super educated view, that this company needs to raise more financing, because what they're doing is completely revenueless, completely profitless for a long time, until you can like set up your ocean mining rigs and like start getting these rare metals. But it's not clear if you're going to be able to raise more of that financing. And if the market's lost faith in you, then what other options do you have? Like,
all right, a couple minutes. We got 1 minute left, Edwin. What else we got?
My bad. Ticker HYZN. Iceberg Research published on Hyzon Motors. Blue Orca also published on them. Electric vehicle company that went public through a SPAC and doesn't have a lot of orders. Viceroy Research published on Alder Group, which was a Luxembourg real estate company. And JCap Research published on Faraday Future, ticker FFIE, $2.5 billion electric vehicle company that went public through SPAC in January. Their largest shareholder is Evergrade, which owns like 20% of the stock. Second largest shareholder is Evergrade. Lots of red flags. The Chinese founder has been banned for life from being associated with publicly listed companies in China. And the market knows something's wrong because they have like 150% borrow rate on the stock here.
Oh, they're coming for the SPACs. There's blood on the water, Edwin.
This one I would avoid at all costs, because like 150% borrow rate, that means people are aggressively betting against it. So I'm very skeptical of this one.
All right, Edwin Dorsey is author of the Bear Cave newsletter. Edwin, a lot going on this week. Nice job on that report, and thanks for coming on today.
Thanks, Spencer. Talk to you next week.
All right. Hey, it's 3:30, which means y'all know what time it is.
All right, it is time for pre-market prep at the close.
Three consecutive highs, opened, matched yesterday's low, and then once it took out there, that's all the breakout momentum traders needed.
Oh, how are we doing?
We were doing better a couple hours ago.
Yeah, what happened?
I don't know if we're seeing anything macro on the day. Just on Columbus Day trading, a little bit more volatility than usual. We matched Friday's high at 44.0750, and then we just turned, and it's been a slow leak. We went from being up over 20 handles, we're down 18.5 handles, bearing down the low of the regular session. Pre-market low is still down there at 52.25. Just been grinding here between 43.65 and 75 for the longest time, but now bearing down on the lower end of the range. So little lighter volume day with Columbus, but the bulls are having their way since we matched Friday's high. Crude gave back some of the
gains. Show us your charts. Tell me how crude's doing. I can't wait to hear this.
It's still
$91. Am I right?
No, not quite. That's right. You little overzealous there. Hold on one sec. I'm getting my share, and the computer's acting a little bit slow here.
Fine, not 91.
1 second. I'm gonna get
$88. Is $88? Is $85?
80.50.
Okay, all right.
Gave back some of those gains, hit 82.18. It's given back, over half of those gains that we've talked about. So just a little too much when we got to 82.18, but it will be a new high close for the move. So whatever that close is, that 2 p.m. cash close on the crudes, what will be our focus tomorrow? Gold, it's in the red by $2, just kind of in a trading range, but hanging out near the lower end of the trading range. Silver down 9 cents at 22.61 and a half. Bitcoin can have its highest close in quite some time. That's up nearly 3K at 51. 58 170, and Ethereum's in the red by $70 at 35.89 a quarter. So Ethereum not really participating in today's rally.
Wait, can you pull up that Bitcoin chart again for a second? I looked away when
Okay,
for a brief
there you
moment.
go.
I want to see that. Hey, wow, that okay. So I'm looking at the right half of the screen, the daily and the monthly. Yeah, that is looking juicy. Woo!
Yeah, I guess that's your new inflation hedge. Basis the monthly contract. If you want to hold out for 60,400 on this run, that was your high back in May, and then that's kind of when things fell off the table. But
Hey, wait. When did China ban Bitcoin? That was like that last red candle. Well, not the last red candle, but the last red candle before the move, or one of those red candles up there around the 22nd, 23rd, somewhere in that
Yep.
window. That was when China banned Bitcoin, or maybe it was the week before that. But hey,
You know what, though? I mean, there's also less supply with that too, right? I mean, if the people are not going to, um, uh, you know, if they're not going to have the mining, so there could be less supply too. So two-sided
maybe.
coin there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Perhaps. Okay, so I was looking at a heat map, Joel, and you see mostly red, tech and a lot of like consumer plays in the green, but that's kind of it, right? Your financials are down, a lot of your healthcare is down, your industrials are pretty mixed, your utilities are down.
Yep.
Materials are green. You got materials green, you got a lot of technology green, right? Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia.
Not much though.
Right,
Not much.
barely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of okay. So I guess we'll call it flat because it's barely green, so we'll call it flat.
Yep.
Um, and leading us downward today, you get the banks, you get like you see like AT&T and Verizon today. Weakness.
Let's take a look at AT&T. New low for the move in big fashion here. Down 69 cents, 26.09. Market not liking higher rates at all. So worried about these stocks. Let's look at Verizon following the same suit. Wow,
Actually,
that's a
T-Mobile's worse. T-Mobile's down almost 3% today.
no place to hide in those
Yuck.
stocks. Down to 117.34. Big 3-day move. How's Comcast holding up? That kind of got things
Oh, not
another
really. Not really.
another down leg in Comcast here. Well, they came out with the bad news, so holy mackerel. Man, oh man, just a lot of competition out there, right? Problem. So they're running into a little bit of what's it, inelasticity. I mean, you can't raise those prices.
I
And
don't know. Yeah, keep going. Sorry.
no, someone said look at Ericsson, and I can't remember the
It's not Eric, right? It's something. It's more than that.
no, I should know this.
It's EK. No, that's not right. I know it trades in the U.S. It trades OTC. I thought, unless I'm thinking
Yeah.
of something else. Um,
Wow.
Ericsson.
I guess people don't need phones anymore.
Wait. Try Eric. Is that not it? ERIC. That's not.
No, that's not it.
No, that's not it. Okay.
Let
All
me
right.
see.
Whoever said that in the chat, help us out.
Yeah. Oh, now I got it. Yeah, it is. Now I got a
Okay.
bunch of. Yeah, that's it. I mean that thing has just been an underperformer for a long time. So, no, nowhere to hide. Not like that. Once again, blame it on the rates here. But all those issues getting the beats here. So
Yeah,
headed into the
it's
close too.
tough to get a feel for today because right, you got the bank, you got like there's no real clear pattern that I can see because you got the banks
Yeah,
are
down. Down
Well,
is the pattern.
yeah, but not every, but no, but there's a lot of green though. There's like a lot of pockets of green, right? Like you got like Oracle green, right? Like said, a lot of the chips are all green, right? Tesla's green. You got like some retail is very mixed on retail. You got some places like Home Depot and Lowe's are in the green, and yet places like TJX, Ross Stores, all the apparels are all in the red. But I don't know. There's no real pattern. It's not a reopening or a stay at home trade. It's not a value or a growth trade. I'm not quite sure what today is. Honestly,
What's JP Morgan report?
I want to say it's Thursday.
I think you're right. Profit taken.
Thursday morning.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds right.
Yeah.
The 14th. They're rigging their register heading into the report. Bank of America, the same. That sold off, bearing down on support. I know that that reports what, on Friday or not too soon after JP Morgan. I mean, these stocks
Yeah, they're all like Wednesday and Thursday. That's all I need to know.
I mean, it just had such a big run, right? And you have these kind of runs, and people are just taking a little bit of profits here ahead of the reports. JP Morgan always are volatile on the day of its earnings, and just profit taking here. And can you blame people? I mean, look at that run up. It was at 150 on September 20th, got over 170. Wow. If you were on your daily highs and lows today, you could have picked off a good one. 71.51 was your high on Thursday, 71.34 on Friday, 71.29 today. So the banks have had a big run up prior. Just looks like it's going to be tough. They're going to have to really blow things away. And also, when you have a run up and then you pull back into earnings, you get people like scratching their head wanting to sell a pop if there's a good report.
Pull up HubSpot for me, because HubSpot has its analyst day tomorrow. So a full day of presentations from the C-suite talking about all the cool stuff they're doing, all the cool growth they have. How is Hubs doing today?
Hubs is doing okay, up 644, not much for a $686 stock. What jumps out to me, taking a look at HubSpot, is there's a technology stock that's held up pretty well. Boom, came here, boom. You're getting back half of the move. You can figure the exact number on your own, but I'd be a little cautious here. Yeah, the run up, new high, the rebound from Investors Day, but I'd like to see it really hold here. And then you got a pair of lows at 671.50 area. So that's another must hold. So propping it up for Investors Day. Let's see what they can deliver.
Matty Ice, I will have some data for you tomorrow morning. How about that? As far as how the banks will perform, I'll do some research tonight. I'll have some historical performance for you. I'll look it up here. I'll have it for you tomorrow morning. We'll talk about it on PreMarket Prep. So Hubs has a thing tomorrow, and tomorrow's also the day that Penn National will vote on their merger with or their acquisition of the Score. So I haven't looked at Penn probably in a few days. They got me for actually no, Penn didn't get me. DraftKings got me for some money this weekend.
Yeah, you were close, huh?
I was so close. MGM and DraftKings suckered me this weekend. Anyway, story for another day.
What were they paying on the Lions winning and
plus 500, Joel?
Really?
Yeah, and I thought, hey, the Lions can win, and that guy can score, and that's what happened. That guy scored, and then they didn't win.
Oh man!
So,
all right.
Anyway,
Penn had its big run up from 62 to 86, and now it's giving it all back. Still a pair of lows at 70, 71, so still holding support. But man, isn't this the time of the year with football and full gear? You would be expecting better performance out of these stocks just on the timing. What about someone? What did SoFi? Did SoFi continue its run?
pull up that chart for me. Where is SoFi at? Not
It,
18?
it, yeah,
18. Wow.
eight.
Call me when it gets to 22. All right. That. Then I'll be in the black.
They ran, I believe that stock got upgraded. It had the gap and go and made quick work. Open 1690, low right off the open at 1683. Made quick work of those two highs that I mentioned in the lower 17 handle. Once again, if you're looking, for follow through on these stocks, you get the follow through the pre-market high, and the train's rolling north. This will be what I'm talking about here. It was hanging around 17, and boom, the big money came in, lifted it, got to what's your high for the day? Your high for the day is 1851. And wow, got all the way to this level here, 1856. We have backed off just a little bit. So that's your next major issue to go through, or next major level to go through, 1852. The current high, and then the high on July 2nd was 1858.
Hey, how's Southwest Airlines doing today? I've been away from my desk for the past 4 hours, so I forgive me for not knowing. But
No, it tried to rally to fill the gap, and we were looking for a potential gap fill. Came close, but no cigar. Much lower open, 51.99 versus the close at 53.92. You got within 19 cents of that low of the range from yesterday. People wanted to get back out at least at the gap fill. You've turned. You're back under 52 now. Current low is 51.60. We mentioned the $51 area. I wrote this stock up as the pre-market prep stock of the day. Man, just not good news. And have you had any updates?
I saw there was some more flights canceled today. Again, I think it's
Okay.
interesting. It's interesting that it's confined mostly to one airline, and
Yeah,
not
it is. It is.
that would seem to indicate that it's not some wide. I mean, it's not some industry wide thing. It's just something's going on with Southwest. Yeah,
Yep.
I
Now
don't
it's
know.
2,600 flights at Tokes and Trades.
Yeah,
That's what he's saying. So, boy, oh boy, it's
yeah.
could be good for the other. It could be good for the other airlines,
I don't
but
know.
overall, bad day
Yeah.
for love. Yep. This is you know, technical trading is difficult when you get these kind of negative headlines.
Yep, that's for sure. And then a couple other stocks I wanted to bring to everyone's attention. Tomorrow, Google has a cloud event. It may not move Google. In fact, it probably won't because Google's so big. But it could move like chip companies that have that they announce are partnering with. So, for example, the Google Cloud uses something from Intel, like Intel's processors. So Intel can move off this. MongoDB can move off this. It's moved it in the past. ESTC is another one. So just I would say watch stocks like these tomorrow because they could move. It is a 3-day event. It's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. There's Google Cloud next or whatever. But I would say watch these stocks this week because you very well could get a headline like, oh, so, and I just saw one like come by my screen here. Who was it? It was shoot. Oh, I just had it and now I lost it. Somewhere in my pro, but I don't know. Whatever. The point is, oh yeah, it was backed. It was forget it. But the point is, watch chips this week in relation to the Google event because you could see a headline for Intel or a headline from MongoDB. That was just my point in bringing that up. And then
Goog,
just
yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
no, go.
No, Goog's holding up well here compared to some of these other tech stocks. Did sneak above that high from Friday, but now back on the lows of the session, got to 28.15. I know it's kind of hard to trade Google technically, but what this is sticking out to me is boom. You got back half of this move here from the all-time high, that relentless move north. Gap up on Thursday, and now not the gap and go, but this gap and hold or gap and waiting pattern here. I'd be careful here. I'd be careful in the Googster, especially with the market, the spoon starting to tail off here. Can't really say it's the start of a major change in trend, since the trend has been up for so long. But you had the big break, the recovery, you got half back, and now you just starting to get a little tired. Where are the buyers going to come from?
I don't know. I don't know. Okay, we got about 12, 11 minutes left in the day. Let's do some ticker time. Drop your tickers in the chat. It's kind of a quiet day. I mean, easy for me to say because I've been away from my desk for all afternoon, but it seems like a quieter day for me. Interesting that, I mentioned the heat map being hard to make sense of. You know what's having a good day, Joel? The casinos. Las Vegas Sands is having a good day. Wynn's having a good day. Wynn's up 4%, or almost 4%. MGM not, still in the green. So casino is strong today. Interesting. How are they doing? It's been a minute.
Filling the gap. Both of them. That's funny. They're both filling the gap. When they got had the bad news on a China gap down day, then a gap down day again. You filled that lower gap. So there's a nice move, and you're still trading near the high. Well, the high was 90.49, currently trading at 89.10. So gap filled for that, and then it just China relief rally trade. This Las Vegas stands not as strong. That still has a gap to fill between 40 and 42. And they did ring the register in the Bobster today. There was just too much. You hit that high, that 172 high, your 4 a.m. traders paying up, and then it really never even had a break at a chance in the regular session. You opened up 69.61. You hit 69.80 and been down. Speaking of down, S&Ps are now down 25.5 handles. We are heading for the pre-market low of 52.25. So the market on this Columbus Day fading into the close.
I wish I had some Columbus Day data handy. Alas, I do not. Let's do some tickers from the chat here. Someone, like, the first stock that was thrown in there was Roblox. So I'm just gonna guess it's high. I'm just gonna guess it's higher again.
You're guessing, huh? Why are you guessing higher?
Because
I
don't know.
Flat.
I feel like. Oh, okay. Never mind.
Digesting that big down day on Friday, made a new low, but back above Friday's low. 70.19 was your low on Friday. 69.77 is your current low. Back above Friday's low. So if you want to do the old undercut and rally trick, you can. Light volume today, 11.8 million on Friday. 4.5 million today. So let's see if you sell it, maybe get a seller's exhaustion here. Nothing on the monthly, so to lean on. Your next monthly low is under 65. S&P is now trading in the mid 43.50 handle, heading for that pre-market low of 52.25. Wow, we've had quite the rally today up to Friday's high. Took out Friday's low easily during the regular session. That's when it was the better short, not off the open. And now you're 2 ticks away from making the low of the session. So not a good day in the markets here, Spencer, and not a good day for your end of the year bet.
Hey, you know what stock that we don't really talk about anymore? We talk about it all the time. We haven't for a minute. Boeing.
We got asked about.
We talk about Boeing like every other day, and we just don't talk about Boeing anymore. But I will say on that monthly in the bottom right chart, if that's not a head and shoulders, I don't know what is.
We just don't talk about it because it hasn't really been moving as of late. Caught a bid, even negative airline news. Took out the high from Friday, which was a double top. 232.03. Boom, you got the 232.10. If you were using that as a level, looking good. I would be a little concerned on this one. You have three lows in the same area. The lowest of those lows coming in today's session at 25.32. Underneath that, you got to visit perhaps a date with 222. Now that's intermediate support, but the 4-day low is actually at 1920. Just not good news. I mean, Southwest Airlines is not going to be ordering any planes soon, but they really don't fly. They don't really fly the big planes, right? They have those more, I don't know,
Yeah,
DC
I think
eights or
they're
DC
they're more
tens.
the medium sized. Yeah, because they're mostly regional. I think maybe not. Yeah, I don't know if
I don't think
Southwest
they have.
has
Yeah,
those.
they don't. Yeah. Did Luke ever get out of where he was going, or is he
He
still
did.
stranded?
He did. He said he flew on standby, so he was able to get home and then Aaron Bree flew Frontier. He said that was also a nightmare. So, um,
All right,
yeah,
S&Ps. We talked about the pre-market low at 52 and a quarter. Best we can do so far here is 53 and a quarter. But we still have 6 minutes left. A little selling balances here. I think it, I think overall this is pretty negative price action. Considered what happened on Friday off the jobs number, that high from Thursday, looking pretty good here. Double top two on the dailies at 4407.50. We're now about 50 handles away from it. So not a good day in the market, especially so we had so much green. That doesn't seem like we're as down as much. I see the Dow down 78, but you have to look at where you were. So I'm sticking with my thesis. I'm sticking with my bet with you, Spencer.
yeah,
Just a lot of overhang in this market, and doesn't look like the jobs data didn't do it, and not getting good
yeah.
follow through today either.
All right, Martin's asking about Scott's Miracle Grow, and this is how low my bar is. I just pulled up the chart, and as I was doing that, I thought, okay, please just still be triple digits. Please be triple digits, because I know that the sector's gotten absolutely punished the past couple of months. And okay, it's at 148. My bar was I was just please be above 100. It's at least above 100, but it's still gotten destroyed the past few months, the past 5 6 months.
Yeah, and I know. I mean, you did get a good low at 140. That's it's up a buck 77 today. Several down months in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down months in a row. You're now trading green on the month, I believe. Let's go for the monthlies here. You are 146.36 was your close in September. Now 148.77, 151.45 high. What are we looking at on the dailies? Kind of a quiet range day, but I mean, this your 3-day high, I don't think it's any big shakes to me, 51.45. But be more interested in see. You had a big red bar on this day. I don't know if that was earnings, 53.03. And then here you kissed it when you went to 53.13. So if you are looking for another major leg higher in SMG, you got to clear that 153.
Okay, we'll do some more tickers from the chat.
Let's go to the chat.
Ba 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 ba. You want to look at Disney? We can look at Disney.
The House of Mouse,
We'll look at Disney and we'll look at Uber.
Disney, boom, bounces off that area once again. That under 170 got near 180 again. You had your daily high that you cleared on Wednesday, 179.45. You got to 179.63. So your dailies are working for you. Leaning back, I see next support in Disney parallels at the 172 area. 171.97 on October 1st, and then 171.55 on October 6th. But you have to wonder with the House of Mouse here, how many times is it going to hit this level and hold and bounce and hold and bounce? So, folks, I'd give you the lowest of those lows is 167.10. I'd say you take that out. I wouldn't worry about, or I would worry if I was long. I don't think we'll have a quick work with that low at 160.52. And then you're working into these candles. I know there's a bunch of gaps down there. S&Ps, they come. We talked about the pre-market low at 52 and a quarter. We're there. We just hit 51.75. So round tripper. New pre-market high, boom, failed, and now take out the pre-market low. Another volatile day. They're going to try and rally this into the close a little bit. We'll see. 51.75 pre-market low, 52 and a quarter.
And then we'll do Uber as our last one of the day.
Uber, I say that will be in the red today. Yeah, a little bit. Just like the rest of the world, made a new high on Friday, came up shy. I like this lower 45 handle. There was four lows in that area. You're currently at 46.29. So you lose 45. You got some more downside there in Uber. No bounce into the close here. We just hit 51, trying to close above 43.50. So downward pressure on the market after matching Friday's high, or I believe it missed it by a tick. Friday's high was 07.75. We hit 07.50. So boom, trading range galore here in the futures. It just let's see if those lows gotta hold those lows from last week, and we had a couple under 42.70. The actual low from last week was 67.50, and then I know the previous Friday we had a 42.60 low. So market perhaps trading range until further notice.
Until proven otherwise. All right, 4 o'clock. That's our bell. Money Mitch is going live now. He's talking with the CEO of ticker BRAG. He's talking to Richard Carter. That is talking about gaming or iGaming, really what it is. So that's coming up right now. Next on Money Mitch. This has been the At the Close show. Dennis, where's my brain today? Joel, Spencer. Let me just get off the stream. It's ridiculous. Hit that like button, please, and thank you. I will be back on camera tomorrow morning. I promise. I have to set up I just got the stuff today. I'm going to set it up right now. And thanks to everyone for bearing with me. And have a good rest of your day. Money Mitch going live right now.